Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.
And this is the news.
Done it again, mate.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Right, starting off today with a worrying news story. Becky Lynch is rumoured to be missing TLC. Thanks again, Nia Jax. It's been reported the other day in the Wrestling Observer by Shagger Dave Meltzer. He basically said that she's been cleared from her concussion, but her broken face, also known in the medical community as a nasal fracture, hasn't got the okay yet. But, Andy Murray, she still wrestled at Tribute to the Troops.
Yeah, this is really weird. Becky was in the ring at Tribute to the Troops, which was on Tuesday night. She was competing in a tag match, I believe, with Charlotte. She actually won the match for her team with a disarmer. Now, because she was in the ring doesn't necessarily mean she took any bumps. It was a tag match. She could have just stood on the apron the whole match, come in, done the submission, bang, 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 done. No shots whatsoever. But would they really let her do even that if she wasn't cleared for the nasal fracture?
Well, exactly. I think even if they thought that she wasn't going to take any bumps, they know how big a pay-per-view TLC is looking. They know how much everyone is looking forward to that triple threat TLC match.
Absolutely.
So I doubt that they would risk her for that. And I understand that maybe she hasn't got the official okay. The concussion's the big thing she had to get out of the way.
Oh, 100%. Those
That's
things can keep you sidelined for months and months. So it's a big relief that the concussion has seemingly cleared up. The nasal fracture, well, it's obviously kept her sidelined, is a lot less serious. So I don't know what Dave's on about here. If she wrestled on Tuesday night, he could, like I say, there could have been a situation where she was barely in the ring only for a few seconds. That obviously lessens it, but I guess we'll find out soon.
Do you reckon this could be one of those injuries that she has one of those cool face masks on for?
Ooh, like Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
Or Facundo Sava when he scored a goal for Fulham. Wow, that's an obscure reference.
What
anyway.
a reference.
Anyway,
I think she looked badass in one of those anyway.
So do I. Yeah, absolutely. So, from one slightly worrying story to a very sad story, unfortunately, we had the passing of Larry The Axe Hennig just the other day. He was 82 years old. Of course, you may know him as the father of Kurt, Mr. Perfect Hennig. And of course, current Raw superstar Curtis Axel is his grandson. So, he was 82 years old. He was best known for his work in the AWA. He was trained by Vern Gagne. He had a very famous tag team with Harley Race back in the day. Couple of things about Larry Hennig, whose legacy unfortunately often goes a bit unnoticed.
Yeah.
Number one, he was a tough guy. He had a really serious knee injury, tore the cartilage all the way up back in the 60s, and instead of accepting hospital paramedic treatment on the site or going to hospital, what did he do? He had Harley Race drive him 500 miles back to Minneapolis. But wrestling it's obviously, there's some not very nice guys in wrestling. There's some shady characters. We often give people hell. Larry Hennig was genuinely regarded as one of the biggest sweethearts in the business. He was really tough, obviously, but you will struggle to find anyone who had a bad word to say about this guy. Curtis Axel, of course, posted a very, very touching tribute on Twitter the other day, basically saying that when my father passed away, he was like a second dad to me. But the key thing here with Larry is that he was so stricken by his son's passing, Kurt's passing away, that it really changed him as a human being, and it had a really profound effect on his life, as it would. So if we're to take solace in any of this, at least he is now with Kurt.
And of course, we here at WhatCulture would like to pass on our deepest condolences to the Hennig family. Moving on, a star of another sport may be transitioning into wrestling yet again. We've had an amazing track record of this, obviously with Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey and numerous others.
Yeah.
And now it is being reported, Lawrence Taylor, of course.
The big man.
It's being reported that a current NBA star may be coming to WWE, but probably only when he retires from basketball.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a name that people who aren't familiar with the league will have heard of. It's Enes Kanter.
He is a 26-year-old center for the New York Knicks. I read that. You are far knowledgeable about basketball.
Yeah, he's an effective player. He's a good scorer, good rebounder. He's 6'11", I think about 250 pounds, so he has the size, obviously, but he also has the personality. He's known as something of a villain in the NBA. He had a notable spat with big LeBron James just last season. He's very active on Twitter, shooting on people all over the place, and critically, he loves wrestling. He was on Instagram earlier this year, or last, I think, posting selfies with The Undertaker in a little video saying, my life is complete. So something he clearly wants to do.
And he's got connections as well, to be fair. He's currently
He does.
dating Dana Brooke. He's good friends with Paul Heyman. As you said there, he is a massive fan of The Undertaker. And most importantly, for a sports star who wants to get into WWE, as you mentioned, he's tall and big.
Yeah, he's a big old unit. That's the key qualifying factor.
I mean, I've never seen anything in him, but do you think it could be something that could transition into WWE? I mean, we've had basketball players come to WCW, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to tell. I mean, you can't really say for sure until they step into the ring and you see what they're doing. But, you know, if he's good friends with Paul Heyman, maybe Paul could help him transition. Maybe he could even be his manager if he makes the breakthrough. He's clearly athletic enough. He's got the size, he's got the personality. Whether that translates to a performance situation is a completely different matter.
He's no Rodman.
He certainly isn't no Rodman. But moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about Ring of Honor here. Now, we're used to WWE's signing policy at the moment. We talk about it almost every day. They're trying to sign every wrestler on the goddamn planet at the moment, and they have a whole bunch of guys starting at the Performance Center in January. Ring of Honor now are apparently on the verge of starting a similar thing. This is according to Shagger Dave in the Wrestling Observer newsletter again. Basically, they are so damn worried that they're going to lose Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Adam Page, and possibly others in January when their contracts are up, that they are hoovering up as many wrestlers as possible before WWE do so. They've already inked Silas Young to a new deal, which we spoke about a little bit yesterday. They have signed Brody King, who's he bases his gimmick kind of on Bruiser Brody.
Right.
Very similar style, very similar aesthetic. They've even signed PCO, who you may know as WWF's Quebecer Pierre from way back in the day. 51 years old, currently having an incredible year. But man, the lengths these guys are going to just sign up every wrestler is kind of nuts, isn't it?
What do you think the future holds for Ring of Honor with this? Because like you say, we were talking before we started this video about what happens to them if all the big names leave, as we were saying that they're worried they might be in January.
It's going to be very difficult for Ring of Honor. I think if the Elite do leave and either go to WWE or form their own promotion, there will be a hit for New Japan and their American expansion, but Ring of Honor are really, really going to feel this. They are Ring of Honor's biggest draws. Cody, the Bucks, that's what they are. Hangman Page is the most improved wrestler outside of WWE anywhere. He's a key piece for their future. He's already turned the contract down. I think they could be in trouble, mate. I don't think they're necessarily going to go out of business by the end of the year or anything, as they are bankrolled by Sinclair Broadcasting. Even though they don't really care about Ring of Honor, they just kind of keep it ticking over. 5 years from now, I would not be confident that we will still have that promotion, unfortunately.
Wow. Right now, actually, before we do that, a tables match between Natalya and Ruby Riott has been added to WWE TLC.
Good.
It's probably going to be on the pre-show, and WWE taught us at Survivor Series that doesn't matter. So moving on now to your Twitter questions. You can tweet them at us at WhatCultureWWE. Let's start off with this from Shannon Dance, who says, when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens return, how would you book them?
Ooh, now that's a good question. You know, I kind of liked what they were doing as a tag team on SmackDown before they went to Raw and things got weird and weird and weird. I don't want to see them shunted down the card like they have been over the past few years. I would like to see them playing the pain in the authority figure's ass tag team, give them a run with the belts, and then maybe you can do another singles feud later down the line.
Yeah, exactly. We're all looking forward to another eventual singles feud, but I just can't wait for them to come back regardless, really.
Sammy is so annoying as a heel, isn't he?
Sammy's a brilliant git, and Kevin Owens, I love him. I just love him. Right, moving on. Dylan Edward asks, if you could create your own match type, what would it be?
So, anyone who knows anything about my taste in wrestling knows that I like very dangerous wrestling in which people get hurt. So, hazardous ladder match. Basically, ladder match, usual rules. There are 5 ladders at ringside. 4 of them are rigged to collapse when you climb. One of them works.
Bloody hell.
Get hurt. Wilborn.
Well, I am a huge fan of the reverse battle royal from TNA. One of the stupidest match types ever. So I'm going to follow that on with a reverse casket match. That is where both men start in the casket and they have to escape. Or, as you suggested when I said that to you, a reverse inferno match where both men start on fire. Right, finally, Vegito Zeno, I hope I've got that right on Twitter, says, what do you think is the scariest finisher to get hit with in WWE?
Easy. Nia Jax's right hand.
I was like, I wonder if we're going to say the same thing for this. I was like, yeah, probably both say something Nia Jax related. If you're having Nia Jax's right hand, I'm having that leg drop that she still can't quite hit.
How many people has she hurt with that goddamn thing? I mean, we ran through the list yesterday, I think.
And
but
we'd still be going today if we'd actually done the entire list. So,
poor Ember Moon.
Well, at least her other half's looking out for her, eh? Right, moving on, let's get on to and finally our final segment of the day. And I've got today's and finally.
You do, and I don't know what it is, so let's get to it.
Right, this comes from Stone Cold Steve Austin on the latest edition of his podcast. Okay, when you think of Stone Cold Steve Austin, what do you picture walking down to the ring?
Just a swaggering everyman badass, ready to kick his boss in the face.
And when he was in WCW and he talked about Bischoff saying, look, we've got nothing for you, he was talking about the fact he was in his black trunks, his black boots. That was it, wasn't it? His little leather vest. Say little leather vest, probably shouldn't say that. But that was his look, wasn't it? It's one of the most iconic looks in wrestling, right? He's revealed on a podcast recently that when he first went to WWE, they wanted him in a singlet.
What?
Stone Cold Steve Austin in a nice little singlet.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
Would he have ever got over?
No, absolutely not. Image is important. And can you imagine him with his little straps, little multicolored number perhaps?
Bringing the straps down for the Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, I can't anticipate. Unsurprisingly, he followed that up by saying, I'm not bloody wearing a singlet.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, that's
that is horrendous.
But
I'm
anyway,
glad they didn't do that.
Let's know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out our new wrestling podcast by searching for What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes or Spotify.
They're very good.
Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture.
I've been Andy from What Culture.
And we will see you soon.
Violent energy. Cleo with the elbow drop. The kamikaze catches. Wonder what a counter. And then maybe start. Once again, Defiant Wrestling is loaded.